Welcome, dear viewers, to a journey that takes us back to the origins of humanity, where ancient stories reveal the roots of diverse civilizations. Today, we explore the incredible legacies of Noah's sons, Shem, Japheth, and Ham, and how their descendants shaped the cultures and nations we know today. From the grandeur of Egypt to the resilience of the Berbers and the ambitions of Nimrod, each lineage has a story filled with lessons, triumphs, and enduring influences. Join us as we unravel the fascinating connections that link our shared past to the present and discover the beauty of human diversity as envisioned by a divine plan. In the ancient scriptures of the Bible, there lies a story as old as time itself, a narrative that weaves together the fate of humanity, a great flood, and the diverse peoples who would rise from the descendants of Noah. This tale offers more than just a historical account. It provides insight into the origins of humanity and reveals a profound lesson about unity, respect, and divine purpose. The story of the African people, as traced through the lineage of Noah's sons, is a rich narrative of culture, legacy, and resilience. The earth, before the Great Flood, was a world steeped in corruption, filled with violence, and humanity had strayed far from God's ways. Genesis 6:5 speaks of this darkness, stating that God saw the wickedness of man, whose every thought was evil. The world was plagued by moral decay. Deception, greed, and cruelty had become the norm. People no longer followed the path of righteousness, and instead they indulged in every form of wickedness. The harmony of creation was shattered, and the earth groaned under the weight of humanity's sins. In response to this deep-seated corruption, God decided to cleanse the earth through a universal flood. But even in this dark time, a glimmer of hope remained. A man named Noah, who was described as righteous, just, and perfect in his generations. He walked with God and was chosen for a remarkable mission: to save a remnant of humanity and the living creatures of earth. Noah was not just a man of faith. He was a beacon of integrity in a world that had lost its way. His unwavering trust in God set him apart from those around him. Noah's devotion was evident in every aspect of his life. He lived in close communion with God, seeking his guidance and striving to uphold divine principles. God saw in Noah a heart that was pure, a spirit that yearned for righteousness, and a life that reflected the values of compassion, humility, and faithfulness. Because of this, Noah was chosen to undertake a monumental task that would not only save his family, but also preserve the essence of creation. Noah, along with his family, his wife, his sons Shem, Cham, also known as Ham, and Japheth, and their wives, were to build an ark. This was no ordinary vessel. It was to be the lifeboat for all of creation. God gave Noah the specific dimensions and instructions for constructing this massive vessel, a feat that required immense faith, perseverance, and skill. The ark was to be made of gopher wood, with rooms inside to house every kind of creature, and coated with pitch inside and out to make it waterproof. Day after day, Noah and his family worked tirelessly, cutting the wood, shaping the beams, and assembling the structure according to God's precise directions. Despite the ridicule of those around him, who mocked his efforts and dismissed his warnings of an impending flood, Noah remained steadfast. He knew that he was part of a divine plan, and his obedience was unwavering. Once the ark was completed, Noah's family entered the ark with pairs of every living creature, and God sealed the door behind them. The moment the door closed, the skies darkened, and the heavens opened. The rains came, and the floodwaters rose for 40 days and nights, covering the entire face of the earth and destroying all life outside the ark. The torrents of rain were relentless, and the waters from the deep burst forth, creating a cataclysmic event unlike anything humanity had ever seen. The world as they knew it was submerged beneath the waters, and the cries of those who had ignored Noah's warnings were silenced. For 150 days, the ark floated, preserving its passengers as the waters covered even the tallest mountains. Inside the ark, Noah and his family cared for the animals, tending to their needs and ensuring that each species survived. It was a time of reflection, patience, and faith. The ark became a symbol of hope, a sanctuary where life was protected and nurtured amidst the chaos. As the days turned into weeks and the weeks into months, Noah and his family waited, trusting in God's promise that they would one day see dry land again. After the waters began to recede, the ark came to rest on the mountains of Ararat. Noah waited patiently, sending out a raven and then a dove to see if the waters had subsided. When the dove returned with an olive leaf, Noah knew the earth was becoming habitable once more. It was a sign of renewal, a promise that life would flourish again. Finally, God commanded Noah and his family to leave the ark, and they stepped out onto a transformed world, a world cleansed of its former corruption, ready for a new beginning. In gratitude for God's mercy, Noah built an altar and offered sacrifices, giving thanks for their survival and the opportunity to start anew. The smoke of the offering rose to the heavens, and God was pleased. In response, he made a covenant with Noah, promising never again to destroy the earth by flood and setting a rainbow in the sky as a sign of this everlasting promise. The rainbow, with its vibrant colors arching across the sky, became a symbol of hope, grace, and the enduring relationship between God and humanity. With this covenant, Noah's family was given a blessing: be fruitful, multiply, and replenish the earth. Thus began the story of humanity's renewal, a new beginning for mankind, with Noah's 3 sons destined to repopulate the world and lay the foundation for future civilizations. Each son was given a unique role, each becoming the progenitor of different peoples and nations. This moment marked not only the survival of the human race, but also the birth of diverse cultures, each with its own purpose and destiny within God's grand design. Noah's first son, Shem, is often associated with the Semitic peoples, including the Hebrews, Arabs, and Syrians. His descendants were tasked with settling in the regions of the Middle East. From Shem's lineage came Abraham, the patriarch of the Israelite nation, and many significant civilizations and religious traditions that continue to shape our modern world. The names of Shem's descendants echo throughout history, highlighting the profound spiritual and cultural impact of his lineage. Shem's lineage was blessed with a deep spiritual heritage, and from this line came prophets, leaders, and teachers who would guide humanity towards understanding the divine. The people of Shem were entrusted with the knowledge of God's ways, and they played a crucial role in preserving and spreading the message of monotheism. Japheth. The second son was given the task of repopulating the regions of Europe and parts of Asia. His descendants spread widely, giving rise to a diverse array of cultures and civilizations. The Bible describes Japheth's lineage with names that suggest a broad geographical spread, indicating the influence of his descendants in various European and Asian nations. One significant aspect of Japheth's story is the blessing pronounced upon him. God shall enlarge Japheth, and he shall dwell in the tents of Shem. This symbolizes a unique interconnectedness between the lineages of Shem and Japheth, signifying unity among the different peoples that arose from Noah's sons. Japheth's descendants were known for their exploration and expansion, venturing into new territories and establishing societies that would grow into great nations. The spirit of adventure and the quest for knowledge characterized the people of Japheth, and their contributions to human progress are evident in the cultural and technological advancements that emerged from their civilizations. Ham, the third son of Noah, held a special designation. He was the forefather of the African peoples. The story of Ham's descendants is particularly significant to understanding the history of Africa and its diverse cultures. Ham's children were Cush, Mitzrayim, Phut, and Canaan. Each of these descendants played a crucial role in shaping the nations and civilizations that emerged across Africa and beyond. Ham's lineage is marked by resilience, creativity, and a deep connection to the land. The descendants of Ham were pioneers in agriculture, architecture, and governance, and their legacy can be seen in the thriving cultures and societies that developed in Africa and other regions. Cush. Ham's firstborn is often linked with the regions of Ethiopia and Sudan. Cush's descendants gave rise to the powerful Nubian and Ethiopian kingdoms, which played influential roles in ancient history. The Bible refers to these regions as Cush, often translated to mean black or Ethiopia. The peoples of Cush were known for their strength, culture, and resilience, and their influence extended across the African continent. The kingdom of Cush, with its rich traditions and powerful rulers, became a beacon of African pride and heritage. The Nubians, known for their skilled warriors and majestic architecture, were instrumental in the cultural and political landscape of the region, often interacting with their neighbors in Egypt and beyond. Mitzrayim is associated with the ancient Egyptians. The name Mitzrayim is still used today in Hebrew and Arabic to refer to Egypt. Mitzrayim's descendants laid the foundation for one of the world's most fascinating and enduring civilizations. Egypt, with its rich culture, architectural marvels like the pyramids, and significant contributions to human knowledge in fields such as medicine and writing. Ancient Egypt was a land of innovation, where art, science, and spirituality converged to create a society that has captivated the imagination of generations. The Egyptians, descendants of Mitzrayim, built monumental structures that have stood the test of time, and their advancements in areas like astronomy, mathematics, and medicine were unparalleled in the ancient world. Phut, sometimes referred to as Putdao, is believed to have settled in regions of North Africa, possibly Libya. The descendants of Phut are considered to be among the native peoples of the region, contributing to the diversity of African cultures. The legacy of Phut is seen in the rich traditions of the Berbers and other indigenous groups who have maintained their unique cultural identities despite the passage of millennia. These groups have preserved their language, customs, and way of life, adding to the vibrant tapestry of North African history. Canaan. The fourth son of Ham is distinct from the others as his descendants did not settle in Africa. Instead, they occupied the land of Canaan, which is now part of modern-day Israel and Palestine. The Canaanites are known for their complex relationship with the Israelites, as described throughout the Old Testament. The land of Canaan was a region of strategic importance, a crossroads of ancient civilizations where cultures met, clashed, and coexisted. The Canaanites, with their fortified cities and advanced society, were significant players in the history of the Near East, and their interactions with the descendants of Shem would shape the course of biblical history. One of the most debated aspects of Ham's story is the curse of Canaan. After the great flood, Noah planted a vineyard, and when the wine was ready, he became intoxicated and lay uncovered in his tent. Ham saw his father's nakedness, and instead of covering him, went outside to tell his brothers, seemingly in mockery. Shem and Japheth, however, took a garment, walked backward into the tent, and covered their father without looking at him. This act of respect by Shem and Japheth highlighted their sense of honor and duty, contrasting sharply with Ham's behavior. When Noah awoke and learned what had happened, he pronounced a curse, not on Ham, but on Ham's youngest son. Canaan. Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants shall he be to his brethren. This curse has often been misinterpreted throughout history, leading to harmful and erroneous beliefs. During the colonial era and the transatlantic slave trade, the curse of Canaan was wrongfully invoked to justify the enslavement of African peoples. It is crucial to understand that the curse was specifically directed at Canaan and his descendants, not at all the children of Ham. The Canaanites, who inhabited the region now known as Israel and Palestine, were the ones affected by this curse, not the African peoples who descended from Cush, Mitzrayim, and Phut. The use of this narrative to justify racism and slavery is a gross misreading of the biblical text and contradicts the core message of human equality present throughout the scriptures. The Bible, in fact, underscores the fundamental equality of all people. In the New Testament, the Apostle Paul writes in Galatians 3:28, "There is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free, nor is there male and female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus." This verse highlights the unity and equality of all people before God, regardless of ethnicity or social status. The story of Noah's sons and their descendants should be seen as a testament to the diversity of human cultures and the shared dignity of all peoples. It reminds us that all human beings, regardless of their background, are created in the image of God and are deserving of respect, love, and compassion. Among the descendants of Cush was Nimrod, a figure often remembered for his strength and leadership. Nimrod is described as a mighty one on the earth, and he is credited with founding several important cities, including Babel, Erech, Akkad, and Calneh in the land of Shinar. His story is closely linked to the construction of the Tower of Babel, one of the Bible's most fascinating narratives. The Tower of Babel represents humanity's ambition and desire for unity, but also its arrogance. Nimrod led the people to build a city and a tower that would reach the heavens, defying God's command to spread out and fill the earth. In their quest to make a name for themselves, the people sought to create a monument to their own greatness, forgetting the humility that God desired from them. In response, God confused their languages, causing them to no longer understand one another. This led to the dispersion of people across the earth and the formation of different nations and languages. The name Babel itself means confusion, symbolizing the diversity of cultures and the importance of humility before God. The story of the Tower of Babel is a powerful reminder of the dangers of pride and the consequences of disobedience. It also serves as an explanation for the origin of the world's many languages and the spread of different cultures. Nimrod's ambition, while admirable in his pursuit of greatness, ultimately led to division, a division that was necessary to fulfill God's plan for humanity to fill the earth. The diversity that emerged from Babel was not a curse, but a blessing, as it allowed for the rich tapestry of cultures, languages, and traditions that we see in the world today. The descendants of Ham played a significant role in shaping the cultures and civilizations of Africa. Cush and Nubia, for instance, are often celebrated as centers of wealth, power, and cultural exchange. The Kingdom of Nubia, located to the south of Egypt, was known for its skilled warriors, rich traditions, and complex society. The relationship between Egypt and Nubia was one of both cooperation and conflict, with each influencing the other's culture, trade, and politics. Nubia was a land of gold, a place where commerce and culture thrived, and its people were known for their resilience and strength. The Nubians built impressive structures, developed unique forms of art, and maintained a distinct identity that set them apart from their neighbors. The Egyptians, descendants of Mitzrayim, are perhaps the most well-known of Ham's lineage. Ancient Egypt's contributions to human history are immense. Its monumental architecture, such as the Great Pyramids and the Sphinx, stands as a testament to the ingenuity and ambition of its people. Egyptian civilization also played a crucial role in biblical narratives, particularly in the story of the Exodus, where Moses led the Israelites out of slavery in Egypt, an event that has had a lasting impact on Jewish, Christian, and even Islamic traditions. The Egyptians were pioneers in fields like medicine, engineering, and astronomy, and their legacy continues to influence modern science and culture. The grandeur of their temples, the complexity of their religious beliefs, and the sophistication of their societal structure all speak to a civilization that was far ahead of its time. The Libyans, descendants of Phut, are also an integral part of Africa's ancient history. Although there is less detailed biblical information about Phut compared to Cush and Mitzrayim, his lineage contributed to the diversity of North African cultures, including the Berbers and other indigenous groups that have shaped the region's identity. The Berbers, known for their resilience and adaptability, have maintained their cultural heritage despite numerous invasions and occupations. Their traditions, language, and way of life are a testament to the enduring legacy of Phut's descendants in North Africa. The story of Ham and his descendants is not only a biblical narrative, but also a cultural foundation for many African societies. Over the centuries, African civilizations have reinterpreted these stories, incorporating them into their own myths, legends, and cultural identities. In Ethiopia, for instance, the descendants of Cush are celebrated in a rich tradition of folklore, including the famous story of the Queen of Sheba and her visit to King Solomon. According to Ethiopian tradition, the Queen of Sheba traveled to Jerusalem to test Solomon's wisdom, bringing with her valuable gifts and challenging questions. The encounter between Solomon and the Queen of Sheba is a symbol of the wealth, wisdom, and cultural exchange that characterized the ancient African kingdoms. The story reflects the deep connections between Africa and the broader biblical world, highlighting the role of African leaders in the spiritual and cultural narratives of the time. Similarly, the traditions of Carnubia and the Horn of Africa reflect a deep connection to the stories of Cush and Phut. The peoples of these regions have woven elements of biblical narratives into their oral traditions, creating a tapestry of myths that highlight their resilience, adaptability, and cultural richness. The story of Nimrod and the Tower of Babel, for example, has been adapted into local folklore, emphasizing themes of unity, diversity, and the consequences of human pride. These stories have been passed down through generations, serving as a source of identity and inspiration for the people of Africa. They remind us of the shared human experience and the ways in which divine narratives have shaped our understanding of the world. The story of Canaan, the son of Ham who received Noah's curse, adds another layer of complexity to the narrative of Ham's descendants. Unlike Cush, Mitzrayim, and Phut, whose descendants are linked to African regions, Canaan's lineage settled in the land that would later become known as Canaan, a region of great biblical significance but not directly linked to Africa. The Canaanites were known for their advanced city-states and their complex relationship with the Israelites, which included periods of both conflict and coexistence. The land of Canaan was a fertile and prosperous region, strategically located at the crossroads of ancient trade routes. The Canaanites developed a rich culture with their own religious practices, art, and governance systems. Their interactions with the Israelites, as described in the Bible, were marked by both hostility and periods of peace, reflecting the complexities of human relationships and the struggle for dominance in the ancient world. The curse of Canaan, often misunderstood and misused, serves as a reminder of the importance of respecting divine commands and the consequences of disobedience. It also highlights the need for a correct understanding of Scripture to avoid historical distortions that can lead to discrimination and injustice. The biblical account makes it clear that the curse was specific to Canaan and his descendants and was fulfilled through the conquest of Canaan by the Israelites under the leadership of Joshua. The story of Canaan is a cautionary tale about the dangers of disrespect and the far-reaching consequences of one's actions. It underscores the value of humility, obedience, and the recognition of divine authority in guiding human behavior. The legacy of Noah's sons is deeply intertwined with the birth of new nations and the growth of diverse cultures across the earth. This legacy extends beyond the individual lineages of Shem, Japheth, and Ham, connecting the past with the present and illustrating the shared humanity that links all people. Each descendant of Noah played an essential role in the re-establishment of civilization, and their stories are woven into the very fabric of human history. From the sprawling deserts of Africa to the fertile valleys of the Middle East and the mountainous regions of Europe, their influence is felt across continents and through the ages. The descendants of Cush, Ham's firstborn, left an indelible mark on the history of Africa. Among the most notable was the Kingdom of Nubia, an ancient African civilization located to the south of Egypt, in what is now Sudan. Nubia was a land of tremendous wealth and natural resources, particularly gold, which became a source of both prosperity and power. The Nubians were known for their prowess in warfare, their sophisticated craftsmanship, and their advanced political systems. They established strong, centralized rule and were able to develop extensive trade networks that stretched across Africa and beyond. The cultural exchange between Nubia and Egypt was profound. The two civilizations often interacted, sometimes as allies and at other times as rivals. The Nubians even ruled Egypt during the E25th dynasty, known as the E-Kushite dynasty, which left a lasting impact on Egyptian culture, governance, and religious practices. The blending of Egyptian and Nubian traditions during this time period highlights the interconnectedness of African civilizations and their ability to influence and enrich one another. Kush was not only significant for its political and military strength, but also for its cultural achievements. The Kingdom of Kush, with its capital at Meroe, became a center for iron production, and its artisans created magnificent metalwork and pottery. The Kushites also had a distinct script known as Meroitic, which remains one of the few ancient African scripts yet to be fully deciphered. This unique writing system is a testament to the intellectual contributions of the Kushite civilization and their desire to record their history and legacy for future generations. The descendants of Mitzrayim founded one of the most remarkable civilizations of the ancient world, Egypt. With its complex social structure, monumental architecture, and sophisticated knowledge of science and mathematics, ancient Egypt remains a symbol of human ingenuity and ambition. The pyramids, standing tall against the backdrop of the vast desert, are perhaps the most iconic representation of Egyptian legacy. These architectural marvels were not merely tombs for the pharaohs. They were symbols of the spiritual journey to the afterlife and monuments to the power of the rulers who commissioned them. The Egyptians made groundbreaking advancements in various fields. In medicine, they practiced surgeries and developed remedies from herbs, many of which laid the foundation for modern medical practices. Their understanding of the human body, health, and healing was advanced for their time, and their medical texts continue to intrigue historians and scholars today. In astronomy, the ancient Egyptians meticulously charted the stars and studied celestial movements. Their knowledge of the heavens played a crucial role in the development of their calendar, which was instrumental in planning agricultural activities along the banks of the Nile. This scientific approach to agriculture allowed them to thrive in an otherwise challenging environment, transforming Egypt into the breadbasket of the ancient world. Beyond their contributions to science and technology, the Egyptians were deeply spiritual, and their beliefs in the afterlife influenced every aspect of their society. The concept of Ama-Atake, representing truth, balance, and cosmic order, guided their worldview and became a cornerstone of their moral and ethical code. This emphasis on order and justice is a legacy that resonates even today, illustrating the enduring influence of the Egyptians on human thought and culture. Put, or Put, is believed to have settled in North Africa, and his descendants are often associated with the indigenous Berber communities that have inhabited the region for millennia. The Berbers are known for their resilience, their intricate oral traditions, and their rich cultural heritage. They have successfully preserved their language, known as Tamazight, and their customs despite numerous attempts at conquest and assimilation by foreign powers, from the Romans to the Arabs. The Berbers have been instrumental in shaping North African culture. They played a significant role in the spread of Islam across the region, with many Berber tribes embracing the new faith and contributing to its expansion throughout Africa. The Berber warriors, traders, and scholars became key players in the flourishing of Islamic culture, particularly during the Almohad and Almoravid dynasties, which established powerful empires that extended from North Africa into Spain. The influence of the Berbers can also be seen in their unique architectural styles, their vibrant textiles, and their music, all of which reflect a blend of indigenous traditions and external influences. The legacy of Fut's descendants lives on in the cultural vibrancy of the Berber people, whose contributions to the history of North Africa remain a testament to their enduring spirit. Canaan. The fourth son of Ham was the forefather of the Canaanites, whose story is complex and integral to the broader narrative of the ancient Near East. The Canaanites inhabited a region that would become a focal point for many of the biblical events that shaped the history of the Israelites. The land of Canaan was a prosperous and fertile area, known for its strategic location along major trade routes that connected Egypt, Mesopotamia, and the Mediterranean. The Canaanites were skilled builders and traders, and their cities, such as Jericho and Hazor, were known for their impressive fortifications. They practiced a polytheistic religion, worshiping deities like Baal and Asherah, which often brought them into conflict with the monotheistic beliefs of the Israelites. The complex relationship between the Canaanites and the Israelites, marked by both warfare and cultural exchange, shaped much of the narrative found in the Old Testament. The curse of Canaan, pronounced by Noah, has been a source of much debate and misinterpretation. It is crucial to recognize that this curse was directed specifically at Canaan and not at the entirety of Ham's lineage. The curse was fulfilled in the biblical account of the conquest of Canaan by the Israelites under Joshua. This narrative serves as a reminder of the importance of respecting divine authority and the consequences of actions that go against God's will. The story of Canaan is a reflection of the complexities of human relationships, power struggles, and the pursuit of land and identity in the ancient world. A notable descendant of Cush was Nimrod, remembered as a mighty ruler and a key figure in the story of the Tower of Babel. Nimrod's ambition led him to establish several key cities, including Babel, Erech, and Akkad, which became centers of early Mesopotamian civilization. Nimrod's legacy is a testament to human ambition, leadership, and the desire to build something lasting. However, it is also a cautionary tale about the potential pitfalls of excessive pride. The construction of the Tower of Babel was a direct challenge to God's command for humanity to spread out and fill the earth. The people, led by Nimrod, sought to build a tower that reached the heavens, symbolizing their desire to make a name for themselves and to centralize their power. In response, God confounded their language, causing them to be unable to understand one another, which forced them to abandon their project and scatter across the earth. The Tower of Babel. Story is significant because it explains the origin of the world's diverse languages and cultures. It also serves as a reminder of the importance of humility and the dangers of defying divine will. Nimrod's story, though marked by great accomplishments, ultimately reveals the limitations of human power when it is not aligned with God's purpose. It teaches us that unity, when based on arrogance and defiance, can lead to division and confusion. The story of Noah's sons and their descendants is more than a historical account. It is a narrative that speaks to the essence of human diversity and the divine plan for humanity. From the lineage of Shem, we see the birth of the Semitic peoples, who would go on to play a pivotal role in the spiritual development of humanity. Japheth's descendants spread across Europe and parts of Asia, contributing to the cultural and technological advancements that define much of human progress. Ham's descendants, through Cush, Mitzrayim, Phut, and Canaan, laid the foundations for some of the world's most influential civilizations, each contributing uniquely to the mosaic of human history. The diversity that emerged from Noah's family is a reflection of God's intention for humanity to spread out, fill the earth, and create a world rich in culture, language, and tradition. This diversity is not a source of division, but a manifestation of the beauty of creation. Each lineage brought forth nations that contributed to the development of human society in different ways, whether through spiritual teachings, architectural wonders, cultural traditions, or advancements in science and governance. The story of Noah and his descendants holds valuable lessons for us today. It teaches us about the importance of faith, obedience, and humility before God. Noah's unwavering faith saved humanity from destruction, and his son's efforts laid the groundwork for the civilizations that followed. The narrative also reminds us of the consequences of pride and disobedience, as seen in the story of Nimrod and the Tower of Babel. Moreover, the misinterpretations of the curse of Canaan serve as a caution against using Scripture to justify inequality or oppression. The Bible's true message is one of unity, equality, and respect for all people. As the Apostle Paul wrote in Galatians 3:28, "There is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free, nor is there male and female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus." This message of equality is at the heart of the biblical narrative and is a call for us to recognize the inherent dignity and worth of every individual, regardless of their background. In reflecting on the legacy of Noah's descendants, we are reminded of our shared humanity. Though we come from different cultures, speak different languages, and have different traditions, we are all part of the same human family. The story of Noah's sons is a testament to the resilience, creativity, and diversity of the human spirit. It is a story that encourages us to embrace our differences, learn from one another, and work together to build a world that reflects the values of compassion, justice, and love. The enduring legacy of Noah's family is one of hope, renewal, and the promise of a better future. From the ashes of a corrupted world, Noah and his sons emerged to rebuild and repopulate the earth, each contributing to the tapestry of human civilization in their own unique way. Their stories are a reminder of the power of faith, the importance of respecting divine authority, and the beauty of human diversity. As we look to the future, may we draw inspiration from the story of Noah and his descendants. May we strive to live lives of integrity, like Noah, to seek knowledge and understanding, like the descendants of Japheth, to preserve our cultural heritage, like the descendants of Ham, and to uphold the spiritual values passed down through the lineage of Shem. In doing so, we honor the legacy of Noah's family and contribute to the ongoing story of humanity, a story that is still being written, one generation at a time. Thank you for joining us on this insightful journey into the origins of humanity and the incredible legacies left by Noah's descendants. We hope you found inspiration in these ancient tales and the timeless lessons they offer. We'd love to hear your thoughts. What lessons did you take away from this story? Are there insights you'd like to add? Please feel free to share in the comments below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more fascinating explorations, and share this with others who love history and culture. Until next time, may you be blessed with wisdom and peace on your own journey through life.